Don't be so baby. It's okay. Parwacket. Parwacket. Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. What's up, witches? It's me, Luna, here with a reluctant Pyewacket that I can't kiss because I have chapstick on. But he is here because the deck today is in honor of him. Okay, baby boy, you can go. Oh, goodness. So the unboxing today is, I do believe, the 14th of my cat decks. This, this is the Black Cats Tarot by Maria Carrara. And it says 9 lives under the shadows, 5 lives of true magic, 2 lives for an higher wisdom, 1 life of dreams and journeys, and the final one to start anew. How interesting is that? 78 tarot cards with divinatory instruction, Tarot de los Gatos Negros, and the same thing on the other side in Spanish. This is typical LS. We've got 6 languages on the bottom. Let me see here. $23.95. It says, I know I spent less than that on Amazon. Anyhow, our typical little tuck box. And we have the also typical white book. So this is February 2022, but it says printed in, but I'm sure that this is an older copyright. This hasn't just been around for 2 years. I could swear on it, but I'm not altogether sure. Let's look at the languages we have. English, Italian, Spanish, French, Dutch, and Portuguese. In the collective imagery, the black cat is a magic creature. Often seen as the faithful companion of witches and warlocks, this is because the cat embodies independence and fidelity, intelligence and lush leisure, ferocity and affection. The nature of the cat, especially a black one, even if the deck contains 2 white cats, belongs to 2 worlds. The real world and a fantasy world depicted in this tarot, but above all, a material world and a spiritual one. When playing with the Black Cat's tarot, our intuition is free to flow between both worlds. Just like dreams, the world of black cats becomes an instrument to help understand and interpret our lives, our doubts, our deepest wishes, and everything that happens to us. Some believe it helps us to read the projections of our unconscious. For others, this tarot offers a pinch of magic. The black cats do not bother with this distinction because they live happily in both worlds, as a wise man should. And then we're straight into the cards. All right, that's all we get for the introduction. Let's take a look at the deck. It is a beautiful spring day today, and I have my window open, and I don't know if you can hear the birds or not, but I hope you can. Anyway, here's the facing card that LS includes with the deck. And ooh, look at the back. That's gorgeous. Non-directional. And then we should have, yes, we have the other blocking / facing card on the back here that has Tarot of Pagan Cats, Tarot of White Cats. I have both of those. Tarot of Magical Forest. That one I don't have yet, but I will. So here we go with the Fool. And the Fool is a white cat with a little black cat hanging on to its back leg. How interesting that we kick off the black cats with the white cat. Let's see if she says anything about it. Yes, the white cat represents freedom and purity, manifesting no fear in its gait. He always walks ahead serenely without ever glancing back. No link and no attachments can stop it. He knows that the most profound wisdom means remaining humble before the mystery of creation. Okay, so we don't have keywords in this tiny, tiny book. We just have the description. So it says freedom, purity, no fear, serenity. You know, you can pull keywords out of it. All right. He's got something around his neck. I don't know what it is. Then we have the magician. Look at him. Oh my goodness. He's a rascal is the word that's coming in my head. And it's kind of confusing because we have the black and white candles here. One could be forgiven for confusing this with the high priestess with those pillars. Got a book in front of him. We don't see the symbols of the elements, just kind of planets floating around, and he's floating in midair. So this is not going to be a Waite-Smith deck. Here's the High Priestess. Now, I would never know that that's the High Priestess. There is a key here, and there's something here, but I don't know what it is. It looks like there's a gold triangle or something hanging there. So there's little things hanging in the tree, and he's got a little butterfly. She's got a little butterfly on her knee. Looks like rings here, but again, and there's like a tornado or a water spout. Fascinating. All right, back to the book. The High Priestess stands for wisdom. Her spiritual force is immense, and she has the power to penetrate the secrets of nature through intuition. The Arcanum suggests that knowing oneself will amplify the knowledge that one has of the world and vice versa in mutual empathy. Okay. But again, there's nothing that alludes to it being the High Priestess, really. And of course, since I'm shooting a video now, is the cue for my phone to start going off. Here's the Empress. Now that's the Empress. And we got a little baby kitty playing. Sheaves of wheat. The throne, she looks kind of empressy. And there's the Emperor. Look at the money under his feet. Then we have the Hierophant. How interesting. What's he holding out there? Look at this. Is he... Okay, he must be sitting on a tree stump. I'm looking at these going, what is he, an octopus? See, here we go. I told you. So... Are we done now? So yeah, he's sitting on a tree stump, and there's two little mice coming up for a piece of cheese. It looks like he's got that key in his hand. So I guess we could tell that's the Hierophant, sort of. And then here we have the lovers. Of course, those are the lovers. I like the black borders, so you know this is going to get the edging treatment. The Chariot. So the cat's actually riding one of the... I can't tell what they are. Let's see what's pulling that chariot. When riding wild horses, those do not look like horses. Wow. This person doesn't know what horses look like. Okay. It's impossible to know where they're taking you. Leaving the main road brings energy, excitement, but in order to prevent a bad fall, we must know exactly where we're heading. All right. So they do mention what's in the picture, but wow, do those not look like horses? They don't have hooves, they have paws. Cat horses. And here is strength. Aw. Aw, look at the shadow. Very cool. There's the 9, or the Hermit. Yes, the 9 in Roman numerals. But you could be forgiven for mistaking that for maybe the 6 of Swords. But that's the Hermit in a boat. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Dragon Ouroboros, that's pretty cool. Justice. The Hanged Cat. Wow. Hanging in a spider web. That's very cool. And here's Death. That's definitely readable since they're in a graveyard and all. Kind of moonish though. Here's Temperance. That one certainly has clues. And the Devil. I mean, they're cheeky, you know. They're cheeky and a little bit sussy and very cat-like in that regard. And then we have the Tower. Certainly recognizable. And there's the Star. So between the Star and Temperance, those could be, I mean, the difference. So it's good to put things next to each other that could be confusing, because here we see that the Star is definitely outstanding, and that differentiates between Temperance and the Star. Then we have the Moon. Look at the cat face in the moon. I wonder if that's the second white cat. The Sun. Look how cute. Judgment. And aha, And the world. All right, we're reading that one. The world represents the end and the beginning of each and everything. One cycle has just ended and we're ready to enter a new dimension, stronger thanks to the experiences gained, but at the same time purged of our own psychic baggage. So it does not mention the white cat, but it's kind of, kind of nice symmetry that the Fool is white and the world is white. And then we are into the cups. Here's the Ace of Cups. Only the cat's sitting in the water. That's kind of hilarious. And sort of like mommy and daddy watching the babies play. Then we have the 2. It's funny seeing big-shouldered cats, And the 3 in celebration. You can see here, there's the little symbol at the bottom. So because there's no, nothing but numbers on the cards, no names at all. Now we have the 4 of Cups, looking very dissatisfied. The other day I was really connecting with 4 of Cups and thinking about how in Buddhism, like Pema Chodron talks a lot about this dissatisfaction that we are constantly living with, that's pecking at our liver all the time, if you will. And that's what this is, just kind of this, just sort of dissatisfied with things, nothing major. And there's 5. I've heard Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot refer to the 5 of Cups as the little death card, the minor arcana death card. And that's very interesting. So there's death, and this is like, the grieving card. Then we have the 6, memories. Wow. That's very accurately depicted, huh? And then there's the 7. So in the 7, we're sort of often daydreaming during the night, but daydreaming. So you get that, you get the meaning. But it also could be easily mistaken for the 4. So you just have to count the cups. Here's the 8. I'm out of here. Wow, leaving a home. Look at that. That's kind of appropriate because if you've ever had cats, you should know that cats will choose their owners and they can smell you out when you're a cat person. And there are cats that will just kind of leave and find another family. There's the 9. Get things overflowing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so there are actually 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nice. And here's the 10. And look at, they all have wings. How interesting. All right, let's read a minor. You'd think in a small book you'd get to them quick, but all right, 10. Joy. Joy brings us up and makes us fly. It is a source of inspiration. All of us have wings, but we must learn how to use them. All right, so I do like that she mentions what's in the images. Here's the page with an arrow. How interesting. He's like a little Cupid. Huh. The knight. And again, a really wacky looking horse with paws instead of hooves. And I like that because, the Knight of Cups usually has something to offer. Here's the Queen, my card, and the King. And oh wait, let's look at so we've got that helmet, and then we've got the horse for the knight, and that's the Queen, and that's the King. Okay. I mean, they've made the cats gendered, so it's easy to tell. Here are the coins. How interesting that the Ace of Pentacles is thoroughly the ocean. All right, I'm a little confused here. I mean, the Ace of Cups had one big cup in the center, but this is back to the book. Self-confidence. The Arcanum represents the capacity to build things that last. Self-confidence leads to the conclusion of ambitious projects. The conclusion of ambitious projects. That's very confusing. And dolphins and ocean and here's the 2. So we get the juggling. Oh, look at this. He's blindfolded and look at the paths. Woo! A lot to be said about that. And here's the 3. No idea of collaboration, but certainly an idea of skill. Then there's the 4 in a little hobbit hole, counting out the money. Oh, oh. So here's the 5. And there's a big cat and a baby cat, and they're both kind of going at this fish skeleton. And there's another skeleton here, but they're underground and everything's barren. But look, we have coins up here. That carries the meaning. Here's the 6. Loans and debts. Oh, okay. So this one is kind of follows along with this one. There's them, and then there's the cat coming to help out. Here's the 7. Got a little thing growing here with a fence around it, and there's a spider web that shows it's been there a while. Look at everything's fenced. Oh, and here's the 8 of Pentacles making a big cake. There's the 9. Ah, wow. How interesting is that? So 9 of Pentacles, and again, we've got water. And only water. There's a bottle floating here with pentacles in it, but you can't count them. All we can do is abandon ourselves to the current. Fighting now is counterproductive and using force will turn against us. That is fascinating. Oh, here's another thing. The majors don't, but the minors each have a keyword in bold. So this one is, I mean, these are very different. Isolation, abyss, help, patience, ability. The 9 is humility. So it's not, being in your garden and satisfied, and it's like nothing about money or resources at all. Okay, the 10 is stability. All right. That's a confusing suit. There's the page and the knight and the queen. Her little wheat plants growing, or she's harvesting, or maybe they're not growing. I don't know. And 4 is the king, not 4. This is the king. Okay. I'm scattered today. I heard that. Okay, here's the Ace of Wands. Painting. Paint me like one of your French girls. Here's the 2 of Wands. So we're competing. Discussion is what it says, rather than like planning. The Ace is inspiration. The 3 is ascent. The 4 is communication. The 5 is struggle. How interesting. Boy, they're coming. Then the 6, victory, yeah. 7 is, oops, courage. Okay. 8 says hurry. Hurry is poor counsel, but acting promptly can save many problems. The time necessary to complete a task must be proportionate to the situation. Okay. I mean, it's not like things are moving fast. It's that you're moving too fast. Danger is 9. The cat. The 10 is enlightenment. The arcanum symbolizes sudden enlightenment. Comprehension of a problem often arrives totally unexpectedly. So nothing whatsoever about oppression. So I guess I'm glad that the images don't echo the Waite Smith, because the meanings certainly don't. All right. The knave is messenger. The Knight is impulsiveness. The Queen is welcome. And the King is willpower. Okay. I'll read the keywords for the last suit, but I'm not going to go back. Here's victory. The Ace of Swords. The 2 is truce. Not truth, truce. All right. Look at how they're standing and balancing each other. Wow. Distance is number 3. Wow. And I mean, how sad is that? They're both just weeping with their backs to each other, and it's talking about distance, how you can be so close. And look, there's a cat heading out of frame. Huh. Pause. Well, that makes sense. Duel is the 5. Decision is 6. The 7 is action. Action, not, betrayal or anything like that. And this one, too, can be contrasted with the, what was it? One of the wands in a boat. Whichever one that I said might be mistaken. Oh, anyway, continuing. Here's the 8, fear. Wow. Okay, and then the 9 is solitude. So the 8 is fear. The 9 says solitude, but not really anxiety. But look at, he's looking in this, the inside of these slabs of stone that are like mirrors. So it's kind of like he's himself is what's being reflected back to him. So you can, when you isolate yourself, solitude can be a great thing, but if you're isolating, all you're getting as feedback is your own, thoughts and fears and things. 10 is accomplishment. It says exit in lots of languages. The Knave is guardian. The Knight says breakup. Obstacles may arrive in unexpected forms. Following an initial disorientation, we react with courage and resolution. Breakup. And then the King is exertion. The King is a leader. Okay, that's the Queen, sorry. The Queen is solidity. And the King is exertion. How very interesting. And there's a spread for the Black Cat's Tarot. Simple 6-card spread called the Cat's Tail. First 3 cards in a horizontal row. Does that sound familiar at all? And they are one's own desires, their dark side, and the realities surrounding us. Then another 2 cards and place them vertically to represent the evolution of this situation, taking into account 4, one's own convictions in continuing along the current path, and 5, the reactions of others to our actions. And the last card is the tip of the tail. This represents the result, providing we follow and analyze the messages of all the other arcana. Okay. I think we're going to use that spread. Let's give these kitties a bit of a blessing. What? I mean, it's surprising me. I thought it was just going to be a pretty, ouch. Alrighty. Do I need to feed my ancestors? I guess I do. I'm getting burnt and I'm fuzzy-headed and, all right. Good enough, I say. Oops. By air and fire. May you be purified and charged. By water and earth. May you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell. A little more. May all negativity disappear and the spirit awaken. And by the fire of Azrael, oops, wait. See, fuzzy-headed today. And I feel good today. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, and, the spirits of all of our kitties. I've had a lot of kitties in my adult life. I never had one. I had one in my youth at home, and her name was Samantha, and she was a black cat. And then, gosh, in my adult life, there have been many, many, many. So I ask also the spirit of all of those kitties whom I love to bless this reading and bless this deck. And I offer you fresh water and I offer you the fire of Azrael. And then we go for a shuffle, and I have no qualms whatsoever. You see this? It's a deck. It fits in my hand. LS knows what decks are for. And you know what? It doesn't hurt. There's so many decks that are actually shuffleable, a little bit thicker, or they have gilding on the edges, and they can be shuffled with effort, but they hurt. They hurt your hands. The edges are sharp. All right, let's do some cut, one more riffle, and then more cut, and we will do the cat spread. It's been a while since I've done like a category spread, but here we go. So for the black cat spread, it's the cat's tail is what this is called. All right. So what do we need to know? Here's these flying out. There's the first two. What do we need to know? This cat's tail spread for the collective. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have the 10 of Wands, and we have, I have to push this back. There. I don't go any further. What the hell? Oh, my cat. I have a cat paperweight that is in the way. There we go. The cat's tail is going to be too long. Alrighty. So we have a 10, and a 20. How interesting is that? First one is 10 of Wands, and this position is our own desires. So this is for the collective. Our own desires, and the 10 of Wands is enlightenment. The arcanum symbolizes sudden enlightenment. Comprehension of a problem often arrives totally unexpectedly. So what is our collective desire? Enlightenment. As souls, as beings on this planet, our collective desire is to reach our highest potential, which is total enlightenment. And what is enlightenment? It is knowing truly who you are. I've been working with the Megan Watterson's goddess, Divine Feminine Oracle every morning and picking a goddess. And the other morning it was Ananda Mayima, who was an Indian. She never called herself a guru, but it was about joy. And somebody asked her how she could be in bliss all the time. And she said, I know who I am. I always know who I am. She was always in touch with the eternal part of herself and seeing beyond the veil. So that's what we're after here. 2 is the dark side, and we get the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, how interesting. This arcanum symbolizes fate, the wheel of life that turns regardless of our will. Our condition cannot be changed, but instead changes continually and escapes our control. Having the courage to abandon ourselves to what is going on around us is true freedom. Courage to abandon ourselves to what's going on around us. Okay. Changes continually and escapes our control. All right. So the wheel, kind of time marching on, I guess, is the dark side. So the dark side of our desires, it says our desires and their dark side. Dark side of wanting enlightenment is fate, the wheel of life. All right. The dark side. Okay, so I guess, the challenge is that we have to deal with life and its ups and downs all the time, and its changes. We can't control life. So the dark side of wanting enlightenment is dealing with the reality that we're in day to day, and not letting ourselves get caught with the ups and downs in attachment and aversion, all that stuff. All right, let's keep going. Third one is the reality surrounding us. So that reality is judgment. The arcana means rebirth. It's a card of profound renewal and freedom from illusions and fallacious desires. So the reality surrounding us, it is pure illumination that takes over our life, changing it. The reality is that we already are enlightened, and we just need to allow ourselves to be reborn into it. And part of that is accepting the way things are and doing spiritual practice that will allow us to access that eternal spirit part, no matter what's going on around us, like allowing us to be constantly reborn. Okay, another 2 cards vertically. Our own convictions in continuing along the current path. When I moved everything, there's a lot of stuff. Sorry. And then the 5th one is the reaction of others. Okay. So this is a night. Oh, I like this. We have minors, majors, and courts. This is the Knight of Pentacles for our own convictions and continuing along the current path. Knight of Pentacles is far-sightedness. Each of us possesses a special sense that leads us to the best situations for growth. Intuition is a powerful weapon that must be sharpened. How interesting. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is usually the knight that goes nowhere, and it's practicality. But this is that extra sense, the 6th sense, which I guess, that's physical, and our intuition. So our convictions and continuing along the path. Okay, so our conviction is rooted in our intuition and our sense, our 6th sense, that there is something more, that there's something beyond, just this body and these 5 senses. And then the reactions of others to our actions is the 9 of Cups, which is reward. The reaction of others to our actions is reward. Every voyage in the labyrinth of experience has a reward at the end. Tired and worn out, we will reach our destination, and once again it will be time to toast success. So reward, this is the wish card, right? A reward at the end. So the reaction of others to our actions is to say, hey, there you go. That if, and I think the reward is that we will inspire others. We take action, we stay, committed, because we have the sense that there's something more to be had, that enlightenment awaits us, and we will be rewarded for those efforts. And then the very last is the tip of the tail. It represents the result, providing we follow and analyze the messages of all the other major arcana. And it is the Justice card, which says, this arcanum represents the harmonic collaboration between reason and sentiment. Harmonic collaboration between reason and sentiment. Intellect, emotions. Emotional equilibrium gives rise to strength, charisma, and serenity, but long-term stability can become a boring mask. Balance can also be found in being able to accept changes. Okay, the result is balance. So gosh, I forget what that one is already. Sorry, I'm getting grumpy. Enlightenment. All right, enlightenment, and we have the ups and downs of life that gets in our way, and we can keep our eyes on that and centered in our intuition, and allow ourselves, our true self, to be reborn. We are committed because our intuition tells us there's something more. We are rewarded for these efforts, and what we are rewarded with, the ultimate outcome, is that we have equilibrium and equanimity. Equanimity is being able to meet every part of life at face value without projecting our own crap onto it. And so justice is the outcome. And that's a nice little reading. It's clear, it's concise. There's not a lot of depth, but that could just be my fuzzy brain today. What do you think? I love the deck because it's a cat deck, and it's a black cat deck, and it will certainly be welcome on the shelf, which are now rearranged. I just rearranged all of my shelves, and I may put up like a little video so you guys can see, because my favorite decks, my US Games decks, are now right here instead of kind of up high where I can't readily see them. So this will be joining them after I do my tape treatment on the box to make sure it's not going to fall apart. And I'll probably play with it some more because it is very interesting. I think the cats are cute. They're, anthropomorphized cats, and they're very adorable. Those are black cats. The horses are odd. The meanings are interesting. And if you guys, like, if somebody is a Marseille reader or a Thoth reader, and you're recognizing maybe some parallels there, let me know. Happiness, love, generosity, satiety, sadness, memories, illusions, departure, reward, joy. That might be Thoth. Might be. Anyway, let me know what you think, and thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you soon on a live stream. Please send me all your great energy so that can happen very soon. And when it does, I'll be happy to see you there too. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.